Shalom. Apostle Tahar coming back at you with the truth, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash. And I'm going to do a response to this video that was put up by Virginia Islands Straight Gate, which I subscribe to his page so I get all his notifications, which is entitled, this was put up a couple of hours ago, because today is the 17th. This was put up as of the 17th. And you should watch the whole video. Excuse me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play part of the video, then I'm gonna, go into it. Anyway, it's as birds flying. So my response or to as birds flying. So if you're part of the One West, former One West, as you know, you already know, based upon that title, it's talking about the so-called UFOs. So this is a dream that the elder had. So he got up and he said, let me do a video on it. And when he was going into it, I already saw it. The dream basically means this place being destroyed by the Lord and the angels, the fulfillment of, Daniel 7, starting from the 9th verse on down. It doesn't end pretty. It's not going to be this end for Esau. It's not going to be pretty. He's going to be, demolished and destroyed beyond recognition. They're going to be burnt up. So anyway, let me let you listen and I'll come back. Then let me bring this back to, so listen up.
Hey, Shalom, Israel, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakadash. I want to give double honor.
When you call on the name of the Lord, you say Rakah Kadash. It's Rakah Kodash. Ka is different from Kwa in the Hebrew. So you got to pronounce the word, but that's all right. We know what you're talking about, but that's how you actually say the word. Holy, you say Kodash, Kodash. Like in the English, and if you go to the King James, they'll say Kadish, but it's actually Kodash, which means holy. So anyway, listen on. We seek for perfection. So nobody take that the wrong way. So let's listen on.
To the elders and apostles, great millstone for bringing out 100% truth and keeping it real. Salutations to the 144 hopeful elect individual who's pushing his word in all truth and sincerity. And the 130 individual who believe in the word and follow the land where we go. Shalom, brothers and sisters, shalom. So this is a little short epistle. This is a dream testimony, actually. And you can see I got in the background here some so-called UFOs, which we understand to be the chariots of Yahweh Hashem Ashai, the vehicles of the angels. I want to just bring out this little short dream and what it is exhorting, So anyway, had a little dream last night. That was this, we saw these chariots in the sky. There's a clip back here I saw somewhere back here. The little chariots, you know how they always are. Bring it up here. Where was it at? So like it, brothers and sisters. But anyway, we saw these chariots in the sky. I almost didn't want to play this video. I just wanted to speak about it. And we were like, look, it's chariots, right? Then the chariots turn into this big ass bird. And that's why the title of this epistle, this dream testimony is called As Birds Flying. It turned into this big ass bird, right? And it came down and attacked another bird. I mean, this bird was big. I want to say it was like big, man. It was like maybe 2 stories tall, something like that. It was big. and then attacked this other bird. At first, I thought it was a chicken because it just attacked it. And the way it attacked it, you had to turn your head away from it. Okay. You had to turn away. You couldn't even look at it. The way it was just tearing this motherfucker up, just like that, right? So then, when I turned back to look back at it, we could then see that it was an eagle that had been attacked, and it was like bad. It was fucked up. It was like dead, laying on his back, had been drug over, but it was just the way that it was attacked so viciously, and just it was just so bad that you had to look away, bro. Okay. Then, so we were a little nervous, and so I started to walk away, and the bird started to follow me, right? And through the spirit, after a while, that's why we got these few scriptures here we're gonna bring out. And so if I started walking down the street to the left, the bird would go to the left. Then if I turned, seeing the bird was following me, I turned again and started to walk to the right. The bird would walk to the right. So seeing that the bird saw that I was scared, and it morphed into a woman. It changed into a woman's form. And I was like, okay, well, I guess it's trying to, say it's okay. I shouldn't be afraid. And I became it, with peace with the bird. And, I understood that it wasn't there to hurt me, but maybe to protect me. Right. So that was a dream, and that was it. So, and we understand. So speaking about the dream back, about the bird, about the huge bird, the chariots turning into the bird and then devouring that eagle. We understand the eagle to be the cadence of Esau, Edom, the Caucasian race, and their kingdom. That dragon was cast out of heaven. Michael and his angels fought against Satan and his angels, cast him out of heaven, something like that. So I wanted to bring that little dream out as we play this little clip in the background, and we're just gonna go get two scriptures, brothers and sisters. We're gonna close it out, okay? And that was a beautiful dream. Once again, through the spirit and power, Yahweh Shemashah, being thankful for this truth, which is also the spirit right now, as brothers bringing out epistles, speaking about how the rest were blinded, and we are thankful to have this truth right now. I even got an epistle to bring out a little bit later, man, speaking about the same thing. And once again, we are very thankful to be called out of darkness into this marvelous light in this time of the end. To wisdom and knowledge to be the stability of thy time. Just as this dream, letting us know, hey, these prophecies are coming to pass, and it is true. This is the end of an age, the end of the kingdom. Esau is about to be destroyed, cast out of heaven.
See, we can see it. So watch the rest of the video. You got it's a 13-minute video, 13 minutes, 33 seconds. So let's let you listen to 5 minutes in. So watch the rest of it. Anyway, I watched maybe the first 2 minutes. I said I had to get up and do a video on this subject, a response. But anyway, let me do this. Okay, this is what I noticed, at the thumbnails, right? Okay, this right here was put up 9 hours ago. It says the title is, this was put up by Tommy Bites Homestead, which is a Jake woman, an Israelite woman that does, prepper type videos. I subscribe to her, so I get all the notifications. Very good videos. A lot of them are short and straight to the point, and she goes into certain BJs and, these wholesale clubs and the Dollar General and, places like that, and shows you pretty much what they have and what they don't have, how the prices have gone up. She goes into shrinkflation, how they shrink. They've been doing that for years any damn way. I remember when gallon of ice cream was a gallon, it was an actual gallon. And this was years ago when they made it smaller than a gallon, but they still called it a gallon. They do that so they can keep the price the same. We all know about that. We see it, right? Your eyes got to be open. Anyway, it says here, the title is Food Processing Plant Catches Fire, Largest Organic Products. Let me get the rest of it. So you people that are into organic foods, they're hitting you too. And like I said, the majority of the people on this planet got their heads, especially in Babylon, their heads are large, stuck up in their asses. They don't know what the hell's going on. They're not concerned. They're not questioning everything. You know, this thing that's happening. It says food processing plant catches fire. Largest organic produce distributor catches fire. And like I said, this is what is that? Isaiah 25:7. Let's go to that real quick. What are the Kemetic people? The Kemetic people, they're trying to get you to, you know, believe in that Kemetic nonsense. They're not telling you what's going on. They're not telling you what's coming down the pike. The scriptures say in Ezekiel 3, what is that, 18? I'm gonna read that too, to warn them. So we got to warn you of everything as to what's coming down the road. This guy Vocab is not warning his people about anything because he doesn't understand prophecies. We warn you as to what's going to come because what? We believe that we're the prophets. We are the prophets. Okay, so where I said I was going to go, Ezekiel 3. It's not just about you knowing that you're an Israelite. It's about warning others. I'll start at 17. Really, the whole chapter is good. Starting from the first couple of verses, eat the roll and go and teach the son to Israel. Okay, it says, Son of man, 17 verse, Ezekiel 3, verse 17, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Yasha'Allah. Watchman is what? Let me look that word up. Let me see what the word watchman means, because the prophet is a watchman. Prophets were called seers. What does the word seer mean? I believe that goes back to the Hebrew word ra'ah, which means to actually see. We see things before they come. Okay, watchman. Which is tazapah. To look out or about, spy, keep watch. The main thing you should be watching is pretty much the news, the mainstream media, the alternative news media, and these videos that we put up. It says observe, watch, to keep watch, spy, to watch closely. So we watch things that's going on around us and we filter it through the scriptures and we tell the rest of y'all, really the elect, you know, the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Now let me come back. Did I lose it? Okay. Maybe I lost it. Let me see. Let me go back to this. No. Okay, it's right here. It's a brother's video. So it says, let me come back to it. And I'm gonna watch as soon as I finish this video. I'm gonna definitely watch this. It said food processing plant catches fire. Largest organic produce distributor catches fire. So this is a trend. There's a trend. A trend, a general direction in which something is developing or changing. All of a sudden, you see all this, you're supposed to take notice. You're supposed to take notice. like I said, these other groups out here, these Christians, these Baptists, these Methodists, these RCCs, these Kemetic people, these Moors, they're not seeing, they don't see, first of all, they don't know where this place, Babylon, is mentioned in the scripture. They'll come across the word Babylon in the latter prophets, Jeremiah and Isaiah and so forth, and in the New Testament, mainly the book of Revelation. They'll come across, if they're reading, I said, above all, get ye understanding, right? These guys don't understand the scriptures. This book is only open to the eyes of the elect that can get it. So they'll read Babylon, they don't know what it's talking about. The Kemetic people, they don't even know where Esau came from. They don't even identify with Esau because they're in that old Egyptian nonsense, which is not going to get you anywhere. It's even a waste of time getting with him. So Captain Tazarek has no business even being with him, man. You're laughing with him. You know, basically they can go fuck themselves, you know? The Most High didn't say, have ye many debates with many different, no. The scriptures in 2 Corinthians 10, verse 4, it says, I'm paraphrasing, to take down strongholds. Hope I didn't lose my page. Let me see. So anyway, let me come back to this. So that's a trend. Bear with me for a minute. Yeah, I had a precept up. Maybe I gotta find it again. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me come back to this. Okay, it says, Son of man, I have made the watchman, so you watch for everything. The alternative news media, the MSN, the mainstream news media, you watch everything, you know? You watch things in your neighborhood. You watch how people walk, how people do things. We keep our eyes on the whole money system. It's all about the money system anyway. All comes down to money, resources. You know, I recently went into a video on Uganda's big gold find. They've been mining for gold for years, but they found a big tons of gold. So that's a whole game changer right there. And there's UFOs. Every time you look up in the sky, you don't see a UFO. And that's why these Edomites, their kingdom, they had that big conference about a month and a half ago, a month ago. And the last time they had a conference dealing with the subject of UFOs was 50 years ago. So why all of a sudden after 50 years they have another major conference? Because these ships, these chariots are ubiquitous. Look that word up. What does that mean, Tar? Look it up. Ubiquitous. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So we watch, we filter it through the scriptures, and we give it to the Israelites, really the elect. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. It didn't say have debates and rub elbows with them. I'm pretty much a loner. I'm a loner. Apostle Gabar's a loner. Apostle Ryan Lob's a loner. You know, they go about their business, man. You know, after camp, we'll get together, myself, and them, the rest of the three of them. The bishop, which includes the bishop Sakaran, we get together. If there's a fight on, first of all, they don't even watch the whole fight because if the main events come on like 11:30, 12 o'clock or whatever, unless it might be a pay-per-view. But we'll get together, get something to eat. Shalom, Lord willing, see you next week, and come back out, man. That's what we do. You got your girl, you get with your girl, you don't got a girl, you're doing videos, man. You're locked in. And we're coming down, we're running the home stretch. We're coming down the, hey, I used to run track. When you did the 100-yard, now it's 100-meter. It used to be the 100 yards when I was running. Man, I used to kick. Man, I used to act like somebody was trying to shoot me. I used to kick it, man. And then when you see that tape, you really kick it. Even I ran long distance too. That home stretch, that's when you kick it. So everybody, this guy, what's his name, Barnes in Platoon, he said, I want every swinging blank in the field or something to that effect. Meaning you got to get, this is the war. You got to get in the spirit of this. So this is the war that we're fighting, which is a spiritual war. Emphasize the word spiritual war. Go back to 2 Corinthians 10, verse 4. This is a spiritual thing. Because Esau wants to demonize you, and that we're like these Edomite groups. That's why they're focusing on them Edomite group, the so-called white supremacy groups. It says, when I say unto the wicked, now the wicked right here is talking about Israelites, not talking about Esau. The 7 you just say, well, that's talking about, well, actually it's in, what is that? Ezekiel 33, if I'm not mistaken. Ezekiel 33, verse 15, which I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do, let me go ahead and get that. Is when I was going over some precepts on scattered, because we're scattered among the heathen. So I did a video on the Bantu people of Israelites. Now you're gonna have Hamites, you're gonna have Israelites mingled among the people of the Bantu people. We are the Bantu people. Those other people that are calling themselves Bantu, a lot of them are actually Hamites. Same thing with Nigeria, same thing with Ghana. We got brothers from Ghana that lived in Ghana and say you can tell the difference between the Israelite from Ghana and the heathen. The spirits are different. Like these so-called, the Nigerians and these Ghanaian people that I talk to every day, see every day, they're all Jake. They got their flavor as Jake. So let me go here, Ezekiel 33. I believe it's 15. Yeah, 15. Ezekiel 33, verse 15. If the wicked restore the pledge, give again that he had robbed, walk in the statutes of life without committing iniquity, he shall surely live, he shall not die. That's not talking about Esau. That's talking about Jake. Because all of us went off. So when we restore the pledge, we come back into Israel. When we give back that we robbed, we coming back into Israel, walking the statutes, which is the laws of life without committing iniquity. And we're subject to commit iniquity because the Most High made us subject under vanity. Let me look at the word statutes. The word is chakwa. Statute, ordinance, limit, enactment, something prescribed, statute. Meaning laws. That which is established or defined. Always of a single law or ordinance. Law, ordinance of the Passover. That's why we keep the Passover to this day. 17 verse again, son of man, I have made thee a watchman into the house of Yeshua Allah, no other nation. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them, the Israelites, the house of Israel, warning from me. When I say unto the wicked Israelites, thou shalt surely die, and thou shalt give him no warning, nor speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. As you read down, it says if you warn them and they still go off, it's not going. The blood is not going to be on your hand. So you guys, you got a lot of guys that are formerly from One West that still kind of put up videos, but they don't put up a lot of videos. You know, no, I go back to 1989, and I go back to 1992. But you ain't teaching no more. You know, because you're guest on different shows, Sarnetta or Fopi or whatever, and you tell your story, but you ain't teaching no more. So what does that mean? You know, what the scriptures also say that in Ezekiel, man, that you're in so many words, it's right here. I'm not going to go more into it, but it says in Revelation 14, your works do follow you. And whatever works that you did and you go off, your works are not going to follow you, because you got to keep teaching. Abba taught until he was attacked and died. He taught up to that very moment. Same thing with Yaikwab, same thing with King Mashar. They taught until they were old, gray, and then they wound up dying. Their works do follow them. A lot of you guys are not doing the work, man. Every swinging prick in the field, as Bonds would say, in Platoon. So you ain't taking it serious. And the reason why you ain't taking it seriously, because you really don't believe it, man. Most I didn't say set up cookouts and whatnot, and rap battles. Okay, so you know what? Let me do this. Let me come back over here. If I can find it. Okay, so like I said, this right here, you know, I caught it. And like I said, I'm gonna watch this video. Food processing plant catches fire. It's obvious what they're doing behind the scenes, but the majority of the people can't see it because the Most High haven't opened up their eyes. And none of these clowns know the scriptures. Let me go to Isaiah 25. Verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain, Esau's mountain, Babylon, the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. So what is a veil? The book of Revelation means to reveal, to pull back the veil. The word here is masaka, which means a pouring libation, molten metal cast, image, drink offering. I don't know why it says that. Let me click on the root. Okay, that's for the word to pour. I wanted the word for veil. And the veil, let me do it this way. Okay, veil, right? Therefore, she took a veil and covered herself. Oh, this right here? This is when Isaac got with Rebecca, and Isaac just grabbed her off the horse. I believe she was on a horse. And matter of fact, let me go to that. This is going into something else. And Isaac, 63rd verse. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the evening tide. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. So she was on a camel. And Rebecca lifted up her eyes. And when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel. So she was on a camel. And that is the first time they met each other. This is one, oh, let me go take you out on a date and talk to you and see if you like me. And, you know, let's go on a dating game and all that, see how it works out. No, he just grabbed and popped her. For you short yellow bus driving niggas. 61st verse. For she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? She didn't know what was going on. She didn't know what was going on. They had set her up for this, for Isaac to pop her, okay, whether she liked it or not. And the servant had said, it is my master. Therefore, she took a veil and covered herself, humbled herself. And the servant told Isaac all things that he had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother's Sarah's tent, because Sarah had died, and took Rebecca, and she became his wife. And he loved her. They got together, he got it, he fell in love with the woman, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Let me look up the word took. So this is gonna go over the head of the pickle bus brothers. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, took. Let's look up the word took. He was like, damn, she looked good. And he just grabbed her, took her in the tent. She submitted. I like that song, Ain't Nobody by Shaka Khan. First you put your arms around me, then you put your charms around me. And it's something to the sweet, I can't resist this sweet surrender. Stare into each other's eyes. And what we see is no surprise. I forget all the rest of the lyrics. And she said, and then a love so deep you cannot measure. Apostle Gabar is cracking up right now. So the word there is laquak. Laquak means to forcefully take. To take, get, fetch, lay hold of, seize, receive, acquire, buy, bring, marry, take a wife, snatch. They call it snatch for a reason, because you snatch it. Take away, lay hold of, seize, arrest. She couldn't say whether she liked it. Well, I don't like, he's not tall enough, or no, he too black. He too this. I don't like that limp he got. No, she humbled herself. Listen to the song again by Shaka Khan. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. She said, and then a love so deep you cannot measure. And that was Isaac and Rebecca. He fell in love with her and she fell in love with him. And there was order. So anyway, let's go back. Let's come back. Let me see here. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, I'm gonna read a couple of precepts right here. I'm not going to bring them up quite yet. It says, Second Ezra 9, verse 2, it says, then, then shalt, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest, the Most High, will begin to visit the world which he made. And how is he visiting them? Through the angels. That's why you see so many of these UAPs, they call it. Second Ezra 6, verse 18, and it said, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. So the Most High is getting ready to visit this world. Okay, it says here in Jeremiah, there's only a few precepts. It says Jeremiah 49, verse 8, flee, turn back, dwell deep, O ye inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau. So that's what the brother, the elder, from the island said. He said that he saw the bird look like a chicken, but the so-called UFO turned into a bird and devoured the chicken, but he found out it was an eagle, and he said he got devoured so badly that he had to turn his eyes away. So that's clearly Esau. That's clearly this system. You can't, when the Lord comes to take this place out, you can't compare this devastation to anything that happened in history. And a lot of horrific things happen in history. It said, flee, let me read again. Jeremiah 49, verse 8, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. Jeremiah 50, verse 31, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, which is Esau, saith Yahweh of hosts, for thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. So you're being visited. Jeremiah 49, verse 8, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. I think I read that. It goes on to say, Lamentation 4, verse 21, 22, let me start at 21. Open that up. Let me start at 20, because we're scattered among the heathens. You even got family members that might be actual heathens, man. It says, Lamentation 4, verse 20, we're going to read down to 22. The breath of our nostrils, the anointing of Yahweh was taken in their pits, of whom we said, under his shadow, we will live among the heathen. So anywhere Israel is scattered, they're scattered among the heathen. So how many Israelites are living in the continent of Africa? We have no idea. Millions. And we made Africa great. It says, who made Egypt great? Joseph. 21st verse, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee, thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. And that's what they're doing now. They passing more laws. They got LGB, whatever, that month. They got a month for it. and they pass laws to protect them, which is against the scriptures. Remember what happens with Sodom and Gomorrah. 22nd verse, the punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. In other words, we're not going to go into captivity anymore. It says in the next line, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. So how in the hell, according to Elder Lahab, he said 1,000 years in the kingdom, Esau's going to jump back on us and take us down. And the Most High is going to have to, it says in Revelation 21, the Lord himself is going to dwell among us. So you clearly went off, and you're not going to correct it. You're not going to make a video saying, "Oh, I was wrong on that," because you're full of pride, man. And that's why, if you don't repent, the Most High is, well, you can't repent. You turn your back on the plow anyway. You disappear for a number of years, then you're coming back. It says, 22nd verse, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, talking about Israel. O daughter of Zion. Daughter of Zion represent the Israelites. He will no more carry thee into captivity. He will visit thine iniquities, O iniquity, O daughter of Edom. When was that, vocab Malone? When did that happen? It's happening now. He will discover thy sins because you accepted the scriptures. Your presidents, they swear on the Bible. They claim that this is a God-fearing country. And Ronald Reagan, I went over that in another video. Ronald Reagan declared 1983 the year of the Bible. So they're honoring the Bible, but they're not going by the Bible. So the Most High is visiting you right now, and he's going to come. He's going to send his beloved son and an angel to destroy you. That's going to be that ship that comes down and turns into a bird and attacks that bird, which ultimately is the eagle, right? Okay, there's references. Let me bring this back up. It says 2nd Ezra 11 verse 37, and I beheld, and lo, as it were, a roaring lion that represents Yahushua chased out of the wood. And I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle and said, I'm not going to read the, you know what? No, let me do that. Let me go into the context of it. And said, 38 verse, hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee. Let me start at 35th verse. And I beheld, and lo, the head upon the right side devoured it that was upon the left side. Then I heard a voice which said unto me, look before thee and consider the things that thou seest. That's talking about the Roman Empire. It's not talking about America, Babylon. Okay, so now we're going to jump to the 45th verse, 2nd Ezra 11 verse 45. Now, 2nd Ezra 11 and 2nd Ezra 12 is talking about the Roman Empire. The 12 feathers is talking about the Caesars from Julius, which his name was Caesar. So see, after him, the term Caesar became a title. So it started with Julius and it ended with Domitian, which is the younger brother of Titus, the sons of Vespasian. Those were the three heads. Remember the three heads? They're going to go to sleep. They're going to come back again. The three heads was back there in the beginning. Crassus, Pompey, and Julius. And then the three heads came back as reincarnation, back as Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. Because it mentions the three heads 2 times. It said they're going to sleep for a while. I'm not going to go all through it. And see, these other camps don't understand it because High Priest Arian never taught it to them because they didn't understand it. Okay, so it says, and you'll never see Bishop Nathaniel, the great Bishop Nathaniel. You'll never see him attempt to even break down Second Ezra 11 or 12 because he didn't know it because he wasn't taught to him. See what he is, he's a master regurgitator. He's good at what he does, but that's all he does. He regurgitates. It says, "And the lion whom thou sawest rising up out of the wood and roaring and speaking to the eagle and rebuked her for her unrighteousness," which is the Roman Empire, with all the words which thou hast heard. Second Ezra 12, verse 3. "And I saw, and behold, they appeared no more, and the whole body of the eagle," which is the Roman Empire. The first 12 leaders of the Roman Empire, from Julius Caesar to Domitian. The next Caesar that you had, or the emperor or the ruler, was a man by the name of Nerva. From Nerva on down, those are all Jakes. Then you had the empire. The Roman Empire was split into the Western Empire and the Eastern Empire. The Western Empire, which was ruled by Esau, totally went down. The one that remained was the Eastern Empire, which was ruled by Jake, which you go into the Byzantine Empire. It says, "And I saw, and behold, they appeared no more, and the whole body of the eagle was burnt." That was during the time of the Roman Empire. "So that the earth was in great fear. Then awake I out of the trouble and trance of my dream, and from great fear, and said unto my spirit," I'm not going to read no more. Oh, this is a good one. I got to bring it out for you guys that are slacking. You old one Westerns that know that you're Israelites that don't do the work. You're not a woman, you're a man, so you're supposed to push the work. Ecclesiasticus 2, verse 14, "Woe unto you that have lost patience, the ones of you that turn your back on the plow." And there's a lot of you guys, there's a trend, we look up the word trend, where you teach, you're on fire, then we don't see you for like 3 years. And then you come back, and then all of a sudden you're on fire, and you act like you never left. And that's why we got on priest Daniela, because he was bigging up Rob Karab, and Rob Karab was teaching, and he stopped teaching for about almost 10 years, 8 years, 10 years. Then all of a sudden he popped up and all kicking that Hebrew. And then when he got back with you, and you got mad at us, we cursed you out because you had no business praising that man. What did this man do? Oh, you came up with the Kum Yasha Allah. So that's going to get you a ticket to one of the ships? Fuck out of here, man. But they're always looking to get on GMS. Well, what does GMS say now so you can get on the act? They say you can rape women, these demons. You're going to find out, then it shall be known who are my chosen. Anyway, it says, "Woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will ye do when the Lord Yahweh shall visit you?" You ain't going to say nothing. You ain't got no track record. So anyway, let me give you a couple of precepts. Let me give you a couple of precepts on the ships. And we know that they're the ships because of all the precepts that we have. Let me do this. There's either doves or dove. Who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves to their windows? I got a list right here, so I want to put it in the right order. As birds fly Yeah, why don't they come up? Let me try it this way. Damn, I can't believe it. I got it. I got it written down. Bear me for a minute. This happens. These things happen. There's a basic scripture too. Damn, I can't believe it. Anyway, um, anybody got it? You can put it in. Can't believe it. Let me try this. It's a basic scripture, and I can't even think of it. Well, I already read that one. Please forgive me if you got it, put it in. Let's go over it. But anyway, let's go to the next precept. Forgive me once again. Zechariah 5, verse 1. We know that very well. Zechariah 5. I said 4. I should have said 5. Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, behold, a flying roll. That's all you. This is only you can close the book. You can close the book because that's talking about a so-called UFO. And he said unto me, what seest thou? I see a flying roll, the length thereof 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse. This is a curse for Esau. This is a blessing to us, because now the Most High is starting to bless us. He's pulling the curses off us that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth, who's a great thief of the earth, you know it. Read Habakkuk 2. Shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off. And they all swear. They claim that they're a Bible believing nation, but when they swear in, whatever they call it, swearing in. So they're contrary to the Most High. So why isn't vocab getting on them? There's a swear shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the what? Of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall, because he knows the name of the Most High, but he's not giving it to the people. That goes into blaspheme the name of the Most High. That's in Revelation. It shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stone thereof. Let me see, blaspheme. Let me go to Revelation. What is that? Revelation 17, if I'm not mistaken. So he carried me away in the spirit into a wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon the scarlet colored beast, full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Let me look up the word blasphemy. Revelation 13:1, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the names of blasphemy. So they know the name of the Most High. They got the scholars. They know. They'll when you say the true name of the Most High, they'll give you the Tetragrammaton. So they know the name of the Most High. And he opened up his mouth and blasphemed against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, which starts with the Israelites and them that dwell in heaven. So this man is an enemy of the Most High. I'll give you a couple more, then I'll close it. I'll mention some of them. Revelation 10 from the first verse. It opens up with a gigantic so-called UFO, UAP coming down and giving the Apostle John a little book, and that little book represents ultimately the scriptures, because the book wasn't put together. Remember, he was scribing down the revelations that he saw, that he witnessed, the visions that he saw. So the book, what to give to the 7 churches of Asia Minor. So there were 7 copies of that book. Zechariah 9 and 12, that's a beautiful one. Let's go to that. Zechariah 9 and 12. I have like about, I got a good 20 scriptures here, precepts. So I'm not going to go into all of them, but let's go into Zechariah 9. And try to stock up, the best you can, because prices are going to go up, and then there's going to be certain items that's going to be missing off the shelves. So if you can find an item that you got maybe 2 months ago or today, it might be triple 2 months from now, might be 10 times. Oh, there was another video I wanted to go into. As a matter of fact, let me leave this and do this here. As soon as I can find it. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, I watched this last night. It's 6 minutes long, entitled "Surviving Hyperinflation in Venezuela." You should watch this, so you can get an idea of how it may be, and I see it happening over here in America. They went through hell, man. So now in the thumbnails, right? You got okay, it says from riches Iraq, Venezuelan economic crisis, Zimbabwe. There's another. They experience Zimbabwe in Africa. They experience hyperinflation. You can watch that video. Who wants to be a trillionaire? And the only money that people accepted was the U.S. dollar, the Federal Reserve note. Venezuela, how long does it take to buy 8 basic goods? Yeah, because you can have the money but be on a long line for 4 or 5 hours, and you might get in there, and most of the stuff that you want is not going to be there. We're starving to death. City of Maracaibo, Caibo symbolizes Venezuela's collapse. So this place is going to collapse. Hyperinflation nation. Can Venezuela recover from its financial crisis? The Tower of David, Venezuela's vertical slum, the collapse of Venezuela. This all goes back anywhere from 3 years ago to 5, 6, 7, even 8 years ago. Oil-rich Venezuela takes desperate measures to bolster economy. Now, what happened was down there, they were selling gas. You can go to a gas station in Venezuela and a gallon of gas was like 12 cents. Now, the reason why they went under, remember when they brought the prices down in America and around the world, that was destroy Venezuela. Now, recently, about maybe a month and a half ago, Biden made a statement that he was going to go down to Venezuela. For what reason? To get oil, because now they need oil. They didn't need oil, no, because at that time, so their thing was to what? To bankrupt and completely destroy Venezuela. That's what they do. But now he changed up. Now he's going to Saudi Arabia, where he called them a bunch of pariahs. So there's people, there's the American people in certain media getting on him on that. He's being two-faced because he's doing it for the oil. You're going to find out this is not a righteous kingdom. Okay, so now let's go. Where am I? Zechariah 9 and 12. I'll give you a couple more and I'll close it. I don't want to go too long. Zechariah 9 and 12. Okay, what does it say? Now this is beautiful. Thank you, Blue Letter. Now, recently, I guess this is 6 months ago or more, they've been putting in headlines, right? So what does it say? Deliverance of Judah and Ephraim, which means what? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, and the rest of the tribes of the northern kingdom, right? There's no time in history that they came back together, going into the ancient world. So this is talking about now. This is something that's getting ready to happen. Let me go to the 11th verse. As for thee also, by the blood of thy covenant, I have sent forth thy prisoners out of the pit wherein is no water. That's talking about us. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. We are the prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim. Was at Jeremiah 50 or 51. I'm not going to go to it. Somebody can put it in the comment section. Judah and Israel were oppressed together. It says, when I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raise up thy sons, O Zion, against that. Now the sons of Zion mean what? The sons of Zion is not just Judah, but the sons of Zion is mostly applied to Judah, but the sons of Zion is talking about the whole nation. Against thy sons, O Greece. Now right here, the word Greece goes back to the word Yawan, which is Japhet, but they're not the actual people of Japhet. They're the people that took down the Japhetic kingdoms, which are Edomites. When you go back to the Roman Empire or the Roman system 500 years ago, 200 years before the birth of our Lord, those were Japhetic people. The rosemary wreath that they wear around their head and the togas, they got that from the Japhetic people. They followed the Japhetic people. Those laws that they got, that they applied, they got it from the Japhetic people. What happened? They slowly pushed the Japhetic people out. So right here, when it says Greece, is talking about Esau. And made thee as a sword of a mighty man, and the Lord Yahweh shall be seen over them. And his arrow shall go forth as a lightning, laser warfare. And the Lord thy power shall blow the trumpet and shall go with whirlwinds of the south. We don't got to read anymore. Yahweh of hosts shall defend them, and they shall devour and subdue with sling stones, and they shall drink and they make a noise as to wine, and they shall be filled with like bowls, and as the corners of an altar. And Yahweh their power shall save them, which are the elect of Israel, in that day as a flock of his people. For they shall be as the stones of a crown lifted up. That's what some of the UFOs look like, that as an ensign upon his land. For how great is his goodness, because ultimately he's going to save us very soon. All hell, look to the next, I see the next 6 months, all hell breaking loose. And I see them finally introducing that the digital dollar. And how great is his beauty. Corn shall make the young men cheerful, and new wine the maids. And we're giving you the new wine. It says, I shall give thee spiced wine. Let me see if I can, that's in Song of Solomon. Spiced wine. Okay, spiced wine. Song of Solomon 8:2. Song of Solomon 8:2. Let's start from 1. Oh, that thou wert my brother, that sucked the breast of my mother. Now what is that talking about? That's talking about, and this is parabolic. So ain't nobody gonna tell a man, yo, come to my house, man, you can suck my mother's breast. It ain't talking about that. The songs that are Solomon's is parabolic. It's not talking about the woman. What is it? Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. I'll do it this way. Okay, Song of Solomon. It said the young Shulamite bride and Jerusalem daughters. It's not talking about that. How do you know that? The Song of Songs, which is Solomon. This is Solomon speaking. When he says in the second verse, let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. This is Solomon talking to the Most High. This is these are songs, by the way. Did not the scripture say that Israel is likened unto a comely, beautiful woman in the book of Jeremiah 6? This is Solomon speaking. Okay, where am I? Let me come back. Oh, that thou were as my brother. That's somebody that you teach them and you want them to come into this truth. You teach them in the hopes that they come into this truth. You should have no dealings with these Kemetic people, man, at all. Because it confuses the people. They think, well, that's just another religion. Israel is just another religion as compared to Kemetic. This year I'll be a Kemite. I'm tired of the Kemite. Let me be an Israelite this year, and then next year let me be a Moor. No, this is not a religion. You are the Israelites. This is not a religion. The small hats, they call it Judaism because it's a religion to them. They know that they're not the people. I should find it says that would suck the breast of thy mother. Who's your spiritual mother? The scriptures. When I should find thee without, I would kiss thee. So wait a minute. Is this Solomon speaking? And is Solomon saying, come and suck what's the name of no. The mother of Solomon is Bathsheba. So is this guy saying, come to my house. I want to introduce you to my mother, Bathsheba, and I want you to suck her breast. It's not talking about that. This is why you Christians can't get it. This is why vocab can't get it. vocab, but he's attempting to break down certain prophetic scriptures. He ain't got it. And if he does, he's watching us. You're on the low level vocab. That's why we don't want you around, because you're on the low level. Oh, that thou wert my brother that sucked the breast of my mother, when I should find thee without, and you're out there on the street, and mainly YouTube. The people came in through YouTube. I will kiss thee, yeah, I should not be despised. In other words, oh, that makes all the sense in the world. I'm an Israelite. So fuck all them Kemetic motherfuckers, man. You tell them one time, they can't get it. You tell them two times, then you leave them alone. What is it? After the first and second admonition, reject. Yeah, I got a question. Well, we ain't going to, look, we ain't going to answer fool. You know? It says, avoid foolish questions. I will lead thee and bring thee into my mother's house, who would instruct me. No, the mother is talking about the scriptures. I will cause thee to drink spiced wine. What is a spiced wine? This truth of the juice of my pomegranate. The pomegranate is talking about what? This truth. His left hand should be under my head, and his right hand should embrace me. Meaning, you're teaching him with love. It ain't literal. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, that ye stir not up, nor awake my love, which is the Most High, which in the first verse he said that he's going to kiss him until he please. In other words, don't get guns, try to take this man down, because you're going to lose. Because Isaac, which is Yahushua, which is also Solomon, gave him that great sword. The modern sword is a gun. You are going to lose. Them gangbangers know not to go head to head with Esau. Anyway, let me come back. So I finished Zechariah, right? And give you a couple more and I'll close. Okay, Daniel 7 and 9. That's nothing but the scriptures. Daniel 7 and 9. Psalm 104, 3, verses 3 and 4. Psalm 68, verse 13, and then you got to jump to 17. 2 Kings 6, verse 17. Ezekiel 1, Ezekiel 1, when you read that whole chapter, it goes into details what the ships look like and the angels that were in the ship. Psalms 91, you got to read that whole chapter. Matthew 24, verse 27. Isaiah 60, what is that? Isaiah 60, verse 8. Did I go through that? Let me go to Isaiah 60 and 8. I think I went through that. Yeah, I went through that. Who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves to their window? Okay, let me see what Isaiah 28 says. I got that written down. Isaiah 28, verse 21. Okay, it's a good one. I hadn't gone through that in a while. It says, for the Lord Yahweh shall rise up as in Mount Perazim. He shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his act, his strange act. Let me look up Perazim. Perizim. Let me do this. Let me do this. Psalms 68. Thirteenth verse. Though ye have lain among the pots, cursed situation, yet shall ye be as the wings of a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. So you want to talk about gold and silver? These ships are going to be actually made out of gold and silver. And jump down to the 17th verse. The chariots of the Most High, which are the ships, are 20,000, even thousands. The angels, the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is among them, as in Sinai in the days of the holy place. So now let's go here. Let's see what that's talking about. Deuteronomy 33. And the king of Israel, it says in Deuteronomy 28, verse 36, ye and your king should go into captivity. That king is talking about Moses, because it tells you right here he was a king in Jeshurun. Deuteronomy 33, verse 1. And this is the blessing wherein Moses, the man of the Most High, the children of Israel before his death. And he said, the Lord Yahweh came from Sinai and rose up from Seir, because the Mount Seir was south of them. They were in the wilderness of Zin. Unto them he shined forth, these are the ships, from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of saints. The saints are these saints are the angels. Saints just mean holy. So there's two holies: the holies on earth, the terrestrial holies, and the celestial holies, which are the angels. So these are talking about, it said 10,000 of saints. Now, when you go to Daniel, I'll go to that in a minute. From his right hand went a fiery law. Yeah, he loved the people, the Israelite. All his saints are in his hand, and they sat down at thy feet. Everyone shall receive of thy words. That's talking about the elect. So we were the ones of you that get it, the Most High, you were part of the elect before the foundation of the earth. That's in Ephesians. Moses commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. So that law was to Jacob. Two covenants. First covenant was given to Israel, the sons of Jacob. Second covenant is going to be given to Israel, the sons of Jacob, in Jeremiah 31 and Hebrews 8, verse 6 on down. They ain't talking about the body of believers, the church, as vocab says. It says, and he, Moses, was king in Jeshurun. Jeshurun means basically number one, meaning the number one nation, which are the Israelites. When the heads of the people, the Israelites, and the tribes of Israel were gathered together. So he was a king. So when it says, ye and your king shall go into captivity, it's talking about Moses. It ain't talking about Yahushua. It ain't talking about Solomon. Solomon didn't suffer the chattel slavery, transatlantic slavery. Solomon wasn't putting no boat. Now Moses was. So, like I said, I got a whole bunch of them. Daniel 7. You can't get around Daniel 7. Daniel 7 is a future prophecy. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to try something. Let me go to, and I'm going to close. I'm going to close. Daniel 7. The Ancient of Days did sit let's see what the commentary says. I'll wait till it comes up. I beheld till the thrones were cast down in the ancient of days. They sit, whose garments were white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool burning. Let me see if they give you a time period as to when this is going to happen, or did it already happen? Okay, I'm right down here. 9. It says the judgment on the, or they say it, the judgment on the Gentiles' powers. The scene is majestically conceived. Our thrones are set for the heavenly powers that are as assessors of the judge. The Almighty himself appears in the likeness of an aged man, but it says he had woolly hair. Y'all want to deal with that. Seated on a throne of flame, angels in countless myriads stand in attendance. So they know that this has Daniel 7 hasn't happened yet. In attendance around him, and the books recording the deeds of the Gentiles rulers are open. So who's going to be judged? The Gentiles, the other nations. The 4 beasts are given over to the destruction, and they'll tell you what the 4 beasts are. But the main beast, while a figure in human form is brought before the Almighty, which is the Son, in the clouds of heaven, and receives from him an everlasting dominion. It says the judgment on the Gentile powers. So they admitted to it. This is from Cambridge School for schools and colleges. And when you read, let me go to the next. All right, it's right here. Hair like wool. They don't want to cover that. Pure wool. They already see a black man. So a black man. His throne was like the fiery flame. That's a gigantic UFO. And his will as burning fire. But what they say, it's the future judgment of the Gentile powers. Let me give you one more. And one more and I'll close. I went over. Isaiah 66. You know what? Let me start. Let me start from the 13th verse, Isaiah 66, verse 13. As a matter of fact, let me do this. What is the headline? Starting from the 10th verse, joy in Jerusalem's future. So this is getting ready to happen. Really, you're supposed to start the 10th verse. Let me just read the 10th verse. Rejoice ye, Jerusalem, which are Israel, the Israelites, and be glad with her, all ye that love her, all the Israelites. Rejoice for joy with her. All ye that mourn for her. We're mourning for her. Ye that crieth for abomination that be done in the midst thereof, that ye may suck and be satisfied with the breast of a consolation, that ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. Glory ultimately the kingdom. For thus saith the Lord power, I will extend peace to her, the Israelites, like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream, because we're called Gentiles. Then shall ye suck, ye shall be born, carry upon her side, these are the Gentiles, and be addendled upon her knees. 13th verse. As one whom his mother comforted, so will I comfort you, the Israelites, and ye shall be comforted in Jerusalem. 14th verse. And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish. Ezekiel 37, bones coming together. When the bones come together, the Most High's got to put marrow in those bones to liven those bones, put blood in you, put sinews in you, and put a covering over you, which is your skin. It says, shall flourish like an herb, and the hand of Yahweh shall be known toward his servants, the Israelites, the prophets, the elect, and his indignation toward his enemies, the other nations, starting with the number one enemy, the Edomites. For behold, the Lord Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, those are the UFOs, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me click on this. Let me look up the word plead. And I'm almost positive it's the word is shapat. Let's see. The word is shapat, which means judgment. Jehoshaphat in Hebrew would be Yahweh Shapat, Yahweh's judgment. So plead with them, meaning he's gonna judge them. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.